We gotta get out of town. Maybe we should grow beards or something.
We are getting out of town, but we're gonna shave.
Shave?
Shave.
At a time like this, those guys got machine guns ready to blast our heads off. You want to shave?
Shave our legs, stupid.
Shave our legs? What?
Hello, Mr. Polyakov. I understand you're looking for a couple of girl musicians. Mm-hmm.
Hello, and welcome to the SP Film Viewers podcast.
We're your hosts, Sophie and Paul, where we talk about movies I've never seen.
And sometimes movies I've never seen.
You can find us on all major podcast platforms.
Please remember to subscribe and review our show wherever you listen.
And follow us on social media. Just search for SP Film Viewers.
And now, on with the show. Right, Sophie, I'm going to hopefully be bringing you an actual rom-com that you're going to like this time. And it is another one that I haven't seen, but I've got a sneaking suspicion you're actually going to approve of this one.
You sounded really cocksure of yourself. How do you know for sure?
Well, it's black and white.
Yeah.
It's from the director who made The Apartment,
Mm-hmm.
Billy Wilder, and it's also got Jack Lemmon in, who's in The Apartment.
Yeah,
Baxter, yeah. And it has Marilyn Monroe in.
I've never seen a Marilyn Monroe film.
Neither have I.
Oh. Is she known for acting?
Yeah, she's done a fair few.
I just know she's
roles.
like an icon,
yeah.
and then obviously know what she looks
True
like.
icon, yeah.
But I don't know. I think it was a tragic death. I remember that. I've never actually seen her in anything apart from just the white. And she's just symbolic, isn't she, for that white dress with the grey.
Yeah. Which I think is in another film. I think that I don't know if Billy Wilder did that one, but
What's it about? Why is it a rom-com? What makes it a rom-com? Someone going to date Marilyn Monroe?
Well, there's different things. It says a 1959 American crime comedy, but also lists it as a musical.
That's when Mum was born. Should have been one.
What?
Well, she was born in 1959. It depends on when it was done. When it was, if it was in the summer.
That's what you took from that, anyway.
I was just trying to think. Well, it's like 66 years old.
So yes, I would assume that she's the love interest of somebody in this film. Also got Tony Curtis as one of the leads in the film, who is the father of Jamie Lee Curtis.
I don't think I've seen him in anything else, have I?
No, I have not either. But yeah, so Jamie Lee Curtis of Halloween fame and Christmas with the Cranks. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So. Yeah, this is seems like it's highly regarded. I know I said that with Moonstruck, but
No, you
but I
did.
think I'm fairly certain we're gonna quite enjoy this film.
How long is it?
It's 2 hours.
It's long. But then I guess What a Wonderful Life is long. But
Yep. So was You Can't Take It With You.
Yep.
Yep.
So I feel like, I don't know, I really don't mind it when it's got something in there. Like if it's a long film, but it actually has a story, then I don't mind it being long. I only mind when it's going nowhere and it's wasting my time.
Style over substance, you mean?
What do you mean?
Like they just drag it out.
Yes.
With, oh, look how great this looks, but rather than actually saying something, is what we mean by that.
Yeah. So like basically like an action and sometimes a horror. That's why I like horrors, because in a sense...
Oh, sorry, what?
And I know with a horror film, like this sounds awful, but they are so cliche that normally they're an hour and a half, and only in that half an hour is when the shit goes down. The first
I don't think that's
hour
true at all.
Is just
I don't agree
getting
with
to
that
know
statement.
your characters, getting to know your fodder, all the...
No, I think you're just bunging them in.
Well, if you
in one basket, because
Halloween is nothing happens until half an hour into the film.
That's set up though for that first one, and then after the fact when it's established that who Michael is, then Still.
Anyways, moving on
Yes.
to what's it actually called? Sorry,
Some Like It Hot.
what if some like it cold?
What if some people like it in a pot 9 days old?
Sorry.
I can put on the nursery rhyme. Peas porridge hot. Peas porridge cold. You know that?
No. What's it about?
Porridge.
I've never heard that.
No.
Is that a Brummy thing?
No.
How's it go?
I'll look it up afterwards for you. So we get. That's nothing. Yeah.
Oh, I feel like this is going to be a bit of a whirlwind. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It sounds like you've got all the promisings. I don't want to go in head first thinking it's going to be amazing, though, just in case I'm disappointed.
So the synopsis reads as follows. After two male musicians witness a mob hit, they flee the state in an all-female band disguised as women, but further complications set in.
This is Doubtfire.
Hmm.
Men dressing up as women. Would that be allowed back then? I guess it's...
What do you mean allowed?
I don't know.
So that's the cover
They look like drags.
on the cover of this disc I've got, yeah, which I got had to get from the States.
Is that hand drawn?
Yeah.
She looks like Betty Boop there.
Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. She's beautiful, isn't she?
Well, just from on that and just knowing, just seeing photos and stuff of her. Yeah, it's just
Well,
so
the picture there, like of showing the cast, she looks like a stamp
on the tablet. Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm very much looking forward to seeing this. It's something I wanted to see for a while, and I think the black and white 4K will be very nice. So, because like when I ordered in the apartment, I think last year, and just sticking that on very quickly, just to just test if this was working, and that looked great. And we've only seen it from the Blu-ray prior, and that looked pretty sharp as it is.
It's like when we watch Wonderful Life, like the 4K really makes a difference. Like even just like the signs, like I know it sounds daft, but it's just the crispness.
Black and white really does work, in as daft as that sounds, because there was no colour, but it just the grey scale shone out. But,
your blacks are black, aren't they?
yeah. Lastly, this was a year before The Apartment as well.
Okay.
So.
Is Baxter, is he in anything else? Because I feel like I could quite like...
Yeah, I think he's in quite a few. I've seen his in the older...
I think he's like my James Stewart. He would be my second favourite. Cary Grant's alright, but I think he's just a smooth operator a little bit.
Right. Kidding.
I might be wrong, he might be completely different in this role, I'm not sure yet, do we?
Right, so let's go and check out Some Like It Hot.
Didn't you girls say you went to a conservatory?
Oh, yes, for a whole year.
I thought you said 3 years.
We got time off for good behavior.
There are two things that I will not put up with during working hours. One is liquor, and the other one is men.
Men?
Oh, you don't have to worry about that.
We wouldn't be caught dead with men. Rough, hairy beasts with 8 hands. And they all just want one thing from a girl.
I beg your pardon, miss.
All right, girls. From the top again.
And we're back, having watched Some Like It Hot. Was it hot stuff, or did it leave you very, very cold?
I guess it didn't in the end.
Which?
I think it leave me cold.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was going to go worse than how the outcome came, like for the characters.
Oh, right, okay. I thought you meant the whole film was going to just take a nosedive.
No.
Right.
Just for the outcome of the characters, like I didn't think it was going to go
The way it did.
the way it ended. I
Yeah.
thought everything was going to backfire, I guess. But no, I think I don't know about you, Paul, but Marilyn Monroe is absolutely stunning.
I mean, I can't deny that at all. Like, it's the first time watching her in a film, and honestly, I think really also like properly like hearing her speak as well. Like, if that might sound daft, but like, and really like taking time to be like, oh, what does she actually sound like when she's acting or speaking in general, really. So like that kind of like soft spoken, but like come across really like, would describe it as like, not to say it's sultry, but it's not
it
really.
Kind of is, but it isn't. It's like a sexy kind of soft, smoky voice. But there's an innocence to it, but there's also like that kind of manipulatively, like she knows if she speaks that way, she's going to get her way. But everything about her is like, so I guess some like it hot. She's probably the hot, isn't she, in this? If we're honest, she's, I don't know, very womanly. Like,
what a woman, you mean? Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's just what a woman should look like, and she's got curves and everything all in the right places. But she's just naturally beautiful as well. Like, she's not like absolutely knocked up to the 9 in the face. Obviously, it is in black and white, but it doesn't look like she's got like loads of lipstick, massive mascara, and everything nowadays. Like, she's dolled up, but not like to the 9s where it's like completely ridiculous. Like, she does look like a human being. She is naturally beautiful. It's not hard to make her look pretty. I bet she would be one of those people that would wake up in the morning and she'd still look stunning. Like, it would just be who she is. Not with her hair all up here and, you know, drool down her face kind of girl. But her voice is stunning. Weirdly, I knew that I Want to Be Loved by You. Oobity doo boop boop boop. But she does it so well. Like, I don't think I appreciated how talented she actually was. I just thought, because she's stunning, she just got by her looks.
Being a model, yeah.
I didn't really realise that she did sing and act as much. But actually seeing her in this, like, her performance is flawless. Like, I think she's acting really well.
For the role it is, yeah. Like,
I feel like she's got a lot of lines, she's got a lot of dancing, a lot of singing to do. She's like the main lead.
Charisma, yeah. The driving force that people would definitely be like, oh, she's in the film, that'll get you bums in seats for the screening and whatever.
Obviously, don't get me wrong, they do put her in a lot of skimpy stuff. There's some dresses where they're very much emphasising the boob area.
But not like some days now where they just like pop it almost like...
It's very classic.
Yeah, class.
But it's, for that time, very risky as well, I would say.
And the time we're set in is late 20s.
Yeah, so even though it's filmed in the 50s, nearly 60s, it's set back in a time.
29, yeah. In the Prohibition era.
I think my only gripe is just back then, women were just like, marriage was an agreement. So, like, Paul, you need to be really rich and wealthy, and then I'd fall for you. You know, that's kind of what marriage back then would be. It's not a case of, oh, well, what do you know, I like your personality. I like being around with you. It's not that. It's like, oh, well, what can this man give me? And then obviously the woman in return, their end is not really that nice what they have to give. Well, it is if you like them, but if you don't, then... And I think the only bit is it does come across like women are a piece of meat, basically.
Yeah, even with our two men who are dressed up as women,
I do think that's funny, though, because I think it's nice. There is some really good humour in this.
Well, I say it's clear to see that from how like Billy Wilder does his, like with The Apartment, we can say that for sure, because it's like rewatching that, and it's bits I keep picking up on from that, and so that's quite funny the way that's worded, and I think that's down to the writing of the film, and I think that rings true in this as well. I mean, like when you say about the men objectifying women and stuff, there's that scene when they make it all the way to Florida, and all those like old rich men on the porch or whatever in the hotel, just outside the hotel, they're all like in a line, and they're all like, "Ooh, let's get my binoculars out and see what the fresh meat's going in and stuff." They're all just
literally just walking in, and they're just staring at you. I think that's the thing, that's only men like that can make you feel uncomfortable a little bit. Like, at the end of the day, I'm just going about my day as you are going about yours. Like, why is it that you think you're in a candy shop and you get the choice of what you want, where like, I'm not for sale? Like, you know, like, fair enough if I was in a shop and you could buy me, but it's not the case, is it? It's like, I can wear what I want and I should be able to. But I think back then women were objectified a lot more and it's sexualized in that capacity. But I do think it's quite humorous that the guys feel that way when they were like that.
Yeah.
And now they're getting pinched on the ass
and
getting a bit harassed.
See it from the other side of the
and they're like,
fence,
I'm not a piece of meat, you know, like, how dare they? And it's like, it's...
Sure.
And he even says, I want to be a man again. And it's like, it's easy. You can just walk down the street, be a man. No one's looking at you, wooing at you or anything like that. You're just going by your day. And even I personally believe, like, with your size, like, for example, if you're a bigger girl, you'd get called fat more than you would do a bloke. Like, I just don't feel like...
That still rings true today, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With that, it's like...
I don't feel like men get called out.
For being... You might be if you're absolutely ginormous, but if you're sort of standard guy with a little bit of a beer belly or whatever, then
nothing will be
said, really.
But if a woman, and especially for a woman, her weight can fluctuate quite a bit, like, depending on life in general, like how hormones fluctuate quite a bit, which impacts us more with, like, shifting in weight and such. Yeah. Where I feel like it is obviously more prone to, like, saying that, but I do think it's got a Mrs. Doubtfire. Obviously, this was before Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes. Probably a key inspiration, I would imagine.
But it just, the way that the two guys play their female selves. So we've got Joe, who's then, is it Jolene?
Joe becomes Josephine.
And Gerald, is it?
He was going to be Geraldine, but he says that he wants to be called Daphne.
I love him. So
that's Jack Lemmon's character, yeah.
I think Josephine looks better as a female than our out of the apartment chappie because his jawline is very prominent. So, like, he looks like a man in drag. Like, I'm surprised they're not being questioned enough about, oh, are you sure you're a girl? Like, there's only one time which the lady who runs the whole thing...
Yeah, for the music,
She kind of thinks there's something weird about those two girls.
Yeah.
But
it's never really much played upon, is it, really?
And it's not really questioned by the men. Like, so that makes you wonder. Like, a lot of men find them attractive.
I know it's part of the gag, in it, really.
But also, like, they said, well, it's just because we've got a skirt on. Like, literally, that's it. And then that just shows how fickle are men, that anything with legs and a skirt, they're going to fancy, pretty much.
As the film went on as well, with, obviously, initially, like, complaining, like, how do the girls walk in these heels and everything? And then pretty much by the end of the film, they're pretty much, like, got it down pat, haven't they? Really?
Well, yeah, they're running away from the mobsters at one point is Daphne. And she's doing amazing. Because she gives it away, doesn't she? Because, like, obviously they return back into male clothes, but she's left her high heels on. Yeah. And she's walking like...
Oh, what do we call that? Because it's like the they is like a precursor to the whole... Yeah, like... What do I identify as?
Yes, true. Technically are men, but for the whole film, I feel like they're more female. In total.
Except for Joe, who's does his switch out, and I think he's quite, say, like, diverse in the sense that because he's, like, putting on that accent, pretending to be like Captain, isn't he?
For some reason, that Captain reminds me of Forrest Gump a little bit. Like, he's a bit simple in that respect of, like, the...
he's put, like faux British accent a little bit, but it's kind of odd, like, to gone that way, but...
But also, I think it's, like, a very, like, I don't know what a woman is, or, like...
But playing it up, because I know that playing hard to get, really, for her, who's, like, normally, I expect Marilyn's character, Sugar Cane, to be, oh no, men are, like, fall at her feet kind of thing, and I think that's like the appeal, and it's like, alright, I got to convince her, so he knows, he's got that plan in mind for her to be like, oh, she'll just try and get with me because I'm not, like,
into her, so it's like a puzzle that she has to crack, because it's like, oh, well, he's not interested in me, why not? Because every other man is like, so. And also, he's got everything she's wanting. So he's got. He knows. Apparently, he's got a yacht. He's a millionaire. Shell
good
fuel
glasses, because they're kind men with glasses.
I think this is when it kind of shows us in a bit of a fickle, bad light as a woman.
So in the sense, then it's like it's the men are objectifying women in the standard way, but also for women as well, it's kind of showing like, oh, they're only after interested in men who are rich, and so it's
Yeah.
poking fun at both, essentially.
It is. And I think it's showing that a woman at that stage of her life, like,
Yeah.
I think she's not getting by really by herself. Like, she can work and she has jobs, but they're not going to pay the bills. She does need to settle down and have a man that's going to sadly look after her. And why not have a wealthy, rich one at that, I guess. It's especially from Marilyn's character, Sugar.
Yeah.
Like, she can have any man she wants, so...
But she's particularly into saxophone players. who play
I
tenor.
really wanted her to go out with what's he called? Is Daphne Buddy's or Gerald? Is it
Jerry. Yeah.
I don't know. I think he had better intent. Like, his character just seemed nicer. Like, I felt like that would have gone more like a Mrs. Doubtfire route, where he didn't really want to expose himself as somebody else or lie or deceit. He was just trying to be himself, but as Daphne, and befriend her. And I think I'd have rather of them two have got together compared to Joe. Like, I did think that was going to go a lot worse because he was being deceitful and lying.
Yeah. Admittedly, I must have seen like a gif of it somewhere on the socials or something, but the very last shot of the film where Jerry is on the boat with some other person who's obviously throughout the film is like one of the guys is like very insistent on like
The yacht man, yeah.
Where he says, "I'm a man," and he goes, "Oh, not everyone's perfect." And that's yeah. Well, so that kind of I should have figured from that, like, oh, that's going to be in the film. But anyway, it's not. It's like one of those things that you kind of see. It's at the very, very end.
Yeah.
The thing and it's like a famous thing from it. And
I think
works.
It's how it pans out. Like, that seems quite strange because it all works out in the end. Like, even though Joe's been deceitful to Sugar should have gone the opposite way and gone, oh, well, I don't trust you anymore. I don't trust any man, and not wanted to be with him because he wasn't being himself. Like, he lied, said he'd got a yacht, he was rich, he had all of this, and actually wasn't even himself around her unless she kind of really liked Josephine as a person. But I don't think she did. I think she got better on with Daphne, I thought.
In the beginning, it was kind of made it seem that way, but that's because he seems smitten with her, and obviously, like, when on the train, it's like, oh, let's climb the bunk beds, because he was like, almost like these, you said yourself, they kind of switched, like, who's playing the straight man in the situation. Initially, Joe was like, no, let's not do this kind of thing.
Yeah, because I think Joe was the one that got him into all this mess.
Yes,
like, he's the one that's like, oh, let's go bet, let's go gamble, let's take his raincoats in to get, like, some money or whatever on his bet. And it always just backfired. And obviously then we had Jerry, who was more like, no, we shouldn't do that. We should play by the books. What if we lose his bet and then we don't have his coats for the winter and we're going to get a cold? So Jerry seemed like the headstrong, kind of sensible one.
He seemed like his character in the apartment a little bit. Like he's...
Yeah. And then I think Jerry was like, oh, well, we need to dress up as these women because we need a job. We need to move as far away from Florida because they saw these mobsters shoot out somebody else. So, and then I think Joe eventually goes, oh, yeah, but once he's dressed up as a woman, he seems to change a little. And he's like, well, no, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. And we're going to play by the books. And obviously Jerry's character's like in a room, as you can imagine, any man that's...
It's like, ooh, look at
all these women in their pyjamas. And has a little slumber party. I don't know how many of them you could fit in that little bunker on the... It was a train, wasn't it?
It was a train, yeah. So, yeah, like bunk beds, just something under of that. And, yeah, there's no way. He's a bit of a farcical thing of that. Oh, come on, let's all have a party in
I don't know how Joe sleeps through it all. But because of that, that's how Josephine and Sugar have that conversation of getting the ice, and that's when he finds out about the saxophones and all of that. And that's when his like light bulb idea comes in, and then he switches where I think Daphne's then playing a proper woman and really immersed in her role, whereas Joe's then playing the two-part where he is himself or his Shell Garage yacht owner. And then he's Josephine, but he's trying to, and I think that's the bit where it's like, oh, well, I think Daphne tries to show him up several times and it just don't work. But yeah, I think it's weird about Daphne's character because in the end he's like having a whale of a time with this rich yacht man. And I think he just really wants to be, like he said, oh, well, it'd be nice. I want to be looked after. I want to have nice things. And it shows we all just want the same things, really. We just want to be loved and looked after and have an easy life, don't we? Even if you're a man or a woman, I guess. In our relationship, who would you say is the one that's looked after?
Financially, or or what exactly? How do you mean looked after?
Well, like more like just who looks after who, like he's the...
Well, I think...
Are we equal?
We all normally... You're pretty good with the finances.
Yeah.
Thing.
Thank you.
But whether that's a typical male's job or
yeah,
female's job is...
I think it's best now.
But
nowadays, it's like working on your strengths and weaknesses and what you prefer to do, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how I'd see it. But obviously back then, I don't think... Well, but then you...
Very pigeonholed, aren't you?
But then Daphne's character, obviously, when she reveals, like, I am a man, he doesn't seem bothered and he still really loves her and wants to just look after her by the sounds of things and have her.
Well, that's just played for comedic effect, really, or what, but I think it's... Because he's listening, oh, I smoke all the time, you know, like... And he's like, I don't care, kind of thing. Like, he's just like, he just wants a bit of tail, but I don't know if he's...
But then, is he imagining how that's going to actually work for him back then?
Yeah, not sure. Because he had, like, that guy's had, like, what, 7 wives?
Yeah.
Like that, so...
But in the end, I feel like even Sugar, like, with Joe, seems like, oh, all's forgiven, even though you've lied and pretended you were a rich man and wealthy. Like, I don't care.
I think it's got a... For the era of films that came out around that time and such, I think it's so that they can have a typical Hollywood ending, really. Like, it doesn't matter. Whereas today, it would be concluded differently with,
like,
you know, get a comeuppance or something like that, you know, like, or like, I will never speak to you again, and then maybe later on, it'd be like, maybe we can hang out.
I think that's what think I'd have respected Sugar's character more.
Rather than just...
If it would have been a case of she was miffed off, didn't want to speak to him, and then realised actually she did want him in the end, like that would have been fine. I think I'd have valued it a bit better in that respect and regard. But then I have to realise the era of the film. Yeah. Where...
And obviously it was set, obviously I know the film is late 50s, but it's obviously, they say that
going for early 20s, yeah.
Late 20s.
Oh, late 20s.
Yeah.
I think there's certain things as well, like a little bit funny on the nose kind of thing. So the first opening scene we've got is of a car that's looking like it's got a coffin.
Yeah.
And it's like a funeral car. And then there's like a mobster shootout, and it's like rum that's in the coffin. And I think it's just like if you drink too much, this is where you'll end up in a coffin kind of thing. Like certain little plays on
that.
Things. Just like little hidden humour here and there that just really works.
It's almost like mourning the fact of, the booze has died.
Yeah,
because it's all shot up because of the...
And then ordering for like alcohol and we don't have any alcohol.
So it's just only coffees, like sour mash, I think.
What's that? Whiskey?
Yeah, like a bourbon or whatever. Yeah.
But I feel like this is the thing where like alcohol's not really, it's a bit shunned upon. But then
it was a big thing back in the 20s and 30s.
But then it's like kind of driven throughout though, isn't it? Because even like Sugar, she has like a little flask in her stockings, and when
all those other girls have like, let's whenever they'll get together. So
also the new cocktail shaker, Paul. Need a hot water bowl.
Hot new product, yeah.
Yeah. Just shake it up and there you go, that's your mix.
I'm not sure.
A bit rubbery.
Yeah.
Dad won't be able to drink it because he's allergic to rubber.
Yeah. Has its issues, I think.
Yeah.
I wonder why it didn't take off.
It'd be quieter though.
Would it?
Compared to like a... Yeah.
Yeah, but it wouldn't keep it cold though, would it?
No, it wouldn't, but obviously...
It's best to keep it hot.
They're trying to keep it quiet from the lady.
Well, it's not going to have a whole cabinet of stuff to
Where did they get the ice though? Like a big block of ice from the freezer? Like...
Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
It seems a bit strange, but yeah. You do think though, you two like main men or main women, at one point they are a goner. Like, you think, oh, at the back end, like the mobster come to Florida and they're like really gunning for him.
Yeah. Did you like the whole thing with? Do you think that added to something, a bit of the danger of the situation with that?
Yeah, there's a little bit of edge to it, wasn't there?
Yeah. Bit of comedy from them as well. Like, I like the bit where I did actually like audibly laugh when they're doing like at the hotel, and he's like doing like patting him down. It's like, oh, there's a gun. It's like, oh, it's not loaded, and he pats his other leg, and all the shells fall out of his other leg.
Yeah,
okay, they're really. Like, that's really good.
I think this has a bit of a cartoon vibe style, like with some of the humour. It reminds me of a bit of a Looney Tune vibe, like some of it.
Like jumping out the cake.
Yeah.
And with gunning them down, yeah.
And even when they're like shooting them, the mobsters at the beginning, you know, like putting them to the walls and stuff, like the slinky men from the Looney Tunes, the bad guys. Like, they remind me of the mobster kind
Slinky,
of.
what do you mean?
You know, the little, what are they called? They're not the skunks, what are they?
Oh, you're thinking Roger Rabbit.
Roger Rabbit, that's what
the weasels, yeah, that kind of... Yeah, again.
And also, you've got Sugar,
Inspired.
who looks like a bit of a Jessica Rabbit / Betty Boop.
Yeah.
And when she does that, I Want to Be Loved by You,
yes,
I was like, I know that song. Why do I know that song? And I remember now, actually, I think it's for Betty Boop.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she's actually like inspired.
The cartoon characters sung it, yeah.
Yeah, and then
somebody else, yeah.
Marilyn's covered it.
Yeah.
But she's like a female
version of
real life Betty Boop.
Yeah.
What do you think of her playing the little ukulele?
If I'm being honest, very much drowned out by the rest of the orchestra. It's like, I don't know if it's really called for in a band where it's full of like brass instruments. And
do you think they just gave her something small because it's like easy to do?
Yeah,
because
like little quirky, kooky.
But I guess the little hip dance, and everything.
The little dance that comes along with it is. But she's definitely a very strong singer.
Yeah, she is, and the way that she does the oopity boop boop, and other songs that she did sing as well, like just it's that soulful kind of husky.
Yeah, like in a jazz bar type of thing. Yeah. Like, she very much suits that when she sings that song before Joe comes in and like kisses her goodbye kind of thing.
Yeah, and but you feel it as well. Like you do feel her sadness, and I think this is why I think she's actually really good. Like, she portrays everything very, very realistically, like of how a woman would feel. So even like when she's got the flowers and she's not marrying the rich yacht man. And she gets a flower in the bracelet, and then she comes over like she wants the hot water bottle. She wants to drink her sorrows away. She's feeling sorry for herself and upset for who she's lost. How does she twig that Joe is him? Oh, it's because he kisses her, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, because of that same kiss that Ula done when we've been on the boat.
Yeah, and then she knew it was him. The bit that makes me laugh is Jerry's character, or Daphne, when he's gone out dancing and he's leading the male rich yacht man.
Yeah.
And he's like, Daphne, you're leading again. And I think that's quite funny because obviously he's a male, so that's a dominant kind of role to lead.
And obviously dancing was very popular at that point as well. So
yeah. And I think it was quite good because on Strictly now, like if you would do something like that, it'd be quite iconic to like switch the roles, like of who's leading who. So like when we've had a male on male dancer, like couple partnership, they can switch roles, and then you're trying to see who's the woman and who's the man within the role. So that was quite interesting having that something so early on in the film. Yeah. Also loved him with his maracas.
Yeah, he's very much like he had a great time. Like after the fact, like, yes, I'm going to be rich and
I'm going to get married and proposed,
engaged. Yeah.
And I think it is that thing where I always think if you do lie, don't you feel like you believe the lie so much that you convince yourself it's the truth? Like, I think he actually did realise, I am Daphne. I am a girl now.
Well, obviously, at the beginning, it was like, you're a girl, Joe says to him.
I think because he's constantly said it so much, now he believes he is Daphne. Yeah,
he's so... And props to them, it's not ever like, they keep the voices up and everything like that throughout, and if I was trying to do it, I'd definitely flummox myself and go, oh, yeah, no...
How many times would you have to shave as well?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
That'd be your problem. Every 2 minutes, you'd be sprouting again. But also the legs shaving any chest hair, because at one point they do go swimming and
Yeah, I didn't know.
Daphne's character goes, and I'm like, are you sure? Like, imagine nowadays if this was like set in our era now.
Yeah. You
Like,
wouldn't be able, you'd be in like a just
proper
a
bikini.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking,
bottoms.
well, how are you supporting your coconuts? What's happening with your chest hair?
Yeah.
Because everything that they have worn has been up.
She only comments on
here.
the fact, you got strong muscles. Like,
But she envies her for it. And I think that's what's quite nice. But to be fair, like, the fact that they don't question him is a bit sus, isn't it? Because it's like, well, come on. Especially Daphne with her chiseled jawline. Like, she's not an attractive woman. Like, he looks better as a man.
Yeah.
But I don't know, there's something about Joe and Josephine, like, I think it's because he has got a circular, more softer face.
Yeah. He
gets away with it.
That. Yeah.
And his voice is softer when he speaks. Like when
he puts it on better than.
And he's got a good swagger, like when he's walking. But you don't get to see as much of him as a woman, I don't think.
No, because he's playing the captain and everything like that. But he does also get approached by that like bell boy or whatever in there. He looks about 12 years old.
He does. He really does. But nothing happens on that.
No.
I think overall, say it is 2 hours. It just went really quick, and there was so much laughter in it, so much wondering how it was going to turn out, like, and not knowing. I didn't really know the ending. I didn't know if they were going to get caught and be killed off, or if they were going to.
I never thought they'd be killed off. I think.
Are they going to kill the mobsters or something? I don't know. Are they going to be on the run forever, or is it that?
I guess technically they are in a way.
Somewhat.
Yeah. Unless
Sugar's going to be heartbroken and just devastated. But that doesn't happen. She ends up being fine. And I think it's just, I don't know, it's an overall just little people pleaser, even though there's some issues with like how women are and stuff, but it's just you have to take of it. That's what it was back then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't get too frustrated on it.
You can have I suppose people laughing about it then, and you can still laugh about it now, like how it comes across like, God, men are just,
Yeah, but then women can look very fickle as well in this, to be fair. But then I guess Sugar's character is still not so fickle because she's still going for the guy who is a sax player and doesn't have any money. So she's gone for the wrong choice again, but actually maybe it's the right choice.
This time around. Who knows? But I wouldn't say, though, on a first watch, I might as well go to scores now, I guess.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say, on a first viewing, I wouldn't say it was as strong as I've grown to love The Apartment. Really, although initially, I said it wasn't a low score, but I really did like that from The Apartment from the first time watching it. I only say, like, in terms of humour stuff, I guess laughed a couple of times, but I did really appreciate the story and was looking out for the sort of the cues and stuff that we were going to go going for with the humour and all that kind of stuff. But that definitely could see this being something I keep coming back to now that especially now I've got it in the collection and everything like that. Easy watch for a 2 hour film, but I think that's the same for the Apartment as well. So
I think The Apartment hits more harder subjects though. I think.
That's very much dark, but there's the way the humour comes across in that is, I think it's more suited for someone like me in that kind of way. It kind of twists it a little bit, and this is one where we're playing it straight. I think everybody could easily enjoy this film. There's nothing really like too.
Well, everyone loves Mrs. Doubtfire, don't they? I feel like. I haven't met a person who doesn't.
Yeah. Sure, there's probably somebody, but but yeah, no. Obviously, this has inspired a lot of films later down the lines. Oh, it's it's funny for a man to dress up and pretend they're a woman. It's look, they're going to seeing that woman they like in a skimpy outfit, and it's can you just pass some address for me? And it's like that kind of. So it's played out from in other comedy films and stuff, but. Whether this is like the starting point from that, or there's probably a film that kind of did it before that. But no, very much enjoyed it. Enjoyed the 4K quality throughout. Loved the mobster angle kind of thrown in there as well. I think that's kind of like gives it a bit more of an edge to just your standard. Oh, we're down on a look. What we're gonna do, kind of thing. So I'm gonna put the film. I think I'll put 9. I'll go 9. I was going to go 8.5, but I think a 9.
Okay. I approve of that. Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I thought you'd be like, what, 8.5? Like,
I would have been a bit.
Yeah. But I think I definitely will be something I would come back to, and I know it will probably appreciate like almost like straight away kind of thing. But I think it's made it as I'm in an hour about it. Was like, did it make me laugh, or like did it take as much from the apartment? But that I say, like from the base point of that film, wasn't like an instant like fell in love with it straight away. I think, but that's grown on me as we've watched it. And I feel like that's more of a seasonal one, as it were, because it's sort of like Christmas, New Year's kind of film. But anyway, I'll go 9.
Okay.
I wonder if you're going to be the same, or
who knows. So I think for me, the humour it hits better for me in this one than probably The Apartment. The Apartment's more dark humour, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
I think this one is an overall, you could put it on and it's just a feel good, like laughable humour.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I just think it's just got some funny humour with the boys dressing up as females, and it's got Mrs. Doubtfire-esque vibes and Roger Rabbit. It just feels like it's them two like movies merged together in one and had a baby. And then obviously I know it's backwards because this film's a lot older than those. But yeah, so, and I love both of those films. I have got a new, like, found respect for Marilyn Monroe as an actress and singer. Like, it's not just all about her look. She's absolutely beautiful. And I think, to be honest, she's the only woman where I would actually say, yeah, like, I would date her. Like, she is gorgeous. Like, I understand any man's eyes popping out of the head when they see her. Like, I get it.
Whistle and everything, yeah.
Yeah, I understand. And she just seems like really natural in front of the camera. Like, it looks effortless.
Yeah.
It's not even that hard to say her lines or do anything or sing. It just looks so flawless.
Yeah.
I do love The Apartment, but I do think this is going to be a really strong contender, and I do think it's something that I would want to watch again and again and really enjoy, just because it is a lot more lighter.
Yeah.
I feel like this is on the lines of a little bit of My Singing in the Rain, where it is just... And The Sound of Music, where it is like it's just like you could be feeling lousy and this would cheer you up and you could put it on. Whereas I think The Apartment is cleverly done and there is good humour, but
I get what you're saying.
It has got a sadder, darker tone. Obviously, in the end, it works out all fine.
Right. But yeah, there is things for people who are not, like,
I feel like
on
I would
the edge
put
of depression and stuff. Yeah, it's probably not the best.
The Apartment more with It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Like,
not just because of the fact that when it's sort of set as well.
No, but I feel like it's everyone's down on the luck and then it kind of is that.
Yeah, bringing the new year with hope and
sort
of in a way, yeah.
Whereas I think this is more just going for good vibes all the way. Yeah. So for me, it's a 10. Like, it's a no-brainer. You were right. It's black and white.
Yeah, I was right. So a good rom. Would you call it a rom-com?
I don't know. Like, I always
there's sort of romance in it and there's comedy. Yeah, but not your atypical
Yeah,
one,
I always go with what I was brought up with a rom-com, I guess.
Yeah.
In that
quite
respect.
Broad, isn't it? But, yeah.
But I feel like this is my niche now. This is something I really enjoy. Like, an old film is something, for some reason, what I go for. I think that just the dialogue's there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I said the writing's pretty sharp as well, like how it all works and just how it comes across with everything.
Yeah.
How it's all structured and works out. Yeah, I can't say there's anything really like, oh, that was weak or anything, how that line came across or anything like that. No. But I think it's, I say I would stick with my 9.
You never know, it might grow.
It might grow further from that, but we'll see. But, no, glad we got a 10 from that from you.
Is that my first one of the year? I'm not sure.
I'd have to look back.
I feel like it's not been a great start. Like, normally the last 2 years I've had a 10 like the first one.
You say Wallace and Gromit wasn't a 10, so...
Not really. Sorry, Paul.
Right, well, thank you for listening. And thank you to the Patreons for their continuing support on the show.
Yeah, definitely. So if you want to become a Patreon, it's just £1 or $1.50. Just go to patreon.com/SP Film Viewers and you can subscribe and become a patron. So you get a shout out every time. So every single podcast will shout your name and your handle out, and you get to pick a movie once a month, which I think they'd be still in time for April if they do subscribe.
I haven't listed that down yet, so yeah, there's still time, people. And so we're going to read out those lovely people's names right now.
So, first of all, this film is in 1959, and that's when my mum's born, and my mum's a patron. Done.
We've got Alex and Shani, who are at Desperately Seeking Username and SDOG, respectively.
We've got Emma and Jones, who are on Instagram under the handle Weight Loss Jonesy and M_Hayton. We've also got Gren, who's on Instagram under the handle CGren_draw.
And then we have our fellow podcasters, who are Nico from the Good, the Bad and the Weird podcast, Mark from 100 Things We Learned from Film, and Ben from Ben Push Pull Health, formerly Film Vloggers. So, yes, thank you to all those lovely people.
It's really appreciated for all the followers and support over the years. So, yeah, can say that now, can't we? It's been several years now.
Yeah, it's been several years. Yeah. And yes, you may notice that we've included a new intro at the beginning of the episode that kind of speeds things up at the end. But obviously, we would say, please go find us on social platforms. Just search for SP Film Viewers and all there and all that kind of stuff.
Well, thank you everyone for listening.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening once again. And we'll speak to you next time.
Speak to you next time.
Bye now.
Bye.
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 Boopity boop 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 boop.
Boop.